Hi everyone. Hi Kate. It's Lindsay. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm one of Kate's friends from her master's program in Australia, and I'll be one of the bridesmaids in September. I live in Vancouver, Canada, so I unfortunately couldn't make it to today's shower, in spite of me really wanting to be there to toast to you, Kate, but trust that we'll do lots of that together in a few months. Because I couldn't be there in person, we had a crazy idea that maybe we would try and find a way for me to be there in a different form, hence this video. And I worked with your beautiful fiance, Paul, to come up with a bit of a game in true Lindsay fashion. So get ready. Here it comes. The girls are going to explain the instructions. Good. So now that that's out of the way, let's get started. The first question I asked Paul was, where and when exactly did you and Kate meet?
So we met in 2006, October. I think it was the 26th of October in Interlaken in Switzerland. So we met in the common area in a hostel there, Hermitage, Barmer's Hermitage. So we were both sitting in the common area, and I looked over and saw on a couch just opposite me was this beautiful girl over there. So that's where we met.
Question 2. When you met, what was the very first thing that Paul noticed about you?
I guess the first things I noticed about her was the hair. This beautiful brunette sitting over on the other couch. I noticed her accent, the American accent, and she had a keen interest in science. So I was actually talking to another guy about, I think it was string theory, and she showed an interest in that. So I suppose that was the first things that I noticed about Kate.
Question number 3. Who made the first move?
It's probably a tricky one because it depends on what you think is the first move. If you say Kate was the first one to come up and sit next to me on the couch that I was sitting on, so if that's counted as a move, I guess her. I was actually the first one to go in for a kiss, which she actually pulled away from, which was very difficult for me. I kind of had that awkward pause and redirect where I didn't know what to do with myself. So she did make up for it later on, and she realised that she had missed a fantastic opportunity to kiss me, and she was the first one to actually lay one on me, on my lips. So thanks, Kate. I think I could say that she's probably the first one to make the move if you add all those things up.
For question number 4, I asked Paul if you could bring only one item on your honeymoon. What did he think it would be?
I'd like to say something, romantic or something like that, like, a book, or I know how much she loves to read, but I really think for this one, if she can only bring one thing on our honeymoon, it would probably be a laptop. Her life is on that. She does all the work, all of her writing on it, so all the work for that Geo and everything like that. So I don't know. I know it's probably not that romantic or profound, but I think it would actually just be a laptop.
For question 5, I asked Paul if he was going to cook you your favorite meal, what would he cook?
I'm not actually sure whether I could cook her favorite meal, so I take this question as what is her favorite meal that I can cook. I would definitely say that it would have to be something around the grill. So, and she's a big fan of lamb, so I would say a rack of lamb on the grill, on the barbecue, and probably do some sweet potato fries and maybe some broccolini with it. So something pretty simple, and obviously a nice bottle of South Australian Shiraz. I think that's what I could do for her, and I know that she would really enjoy it.
Question number 6 is a sweet one. I asked Paul, when did he first realize he wanted to marry you?
Okay, for me, that's a really easy one. I knew probably within the first week that I wanted to marry her. I know that she might not feel the same way, but I definitely knew, hey, this girl, she has everything that I want. I knew that I think I fell in love in that first week, and I wanted her to, I wanted to marry her. So I don't know if I've ever told her that. I think she knows how keen I was, but yeah, I was definitely pretty keen straight away.
Question number 7. What's your nickname or pet name for Paul?
Um, So her nickname, she calls me a lot of different nicknames, but I'd say this is the main one. She calls me Mongoose, or just Goose for short, so she shortens it. Kate likes to have pet names for different things, and she uses animals a lot. She thinks that I represent a mongoose, and that's the most closely related animal to me. She also has one more derivative of that name, which really irks me when she calls me this, but she shortens it and she just calls me Mong. And I hate it, I really do, I hate it. She only does it to rile me up. So.
Question number 8. Now, what would Paul say you'd say is his most annoying habit?
I have this really bad habit that she hates, which is to get little bits of napkin and tissues and those sort of things, and I keep them. I don't throw them out. I like keep them in my pocket, and I put them in really annoying places, like on the coffee table. And she calls them my bits, and she hates it when I do it and I leave them out. And she says, you've left your bits out again. I want to get rid of it. It just drives her nuts. So definitely, just my bits, leaving my scrunched up napkins and tissues around and that sort of stuff. She hates it. So yeah.
Question number 9. What would he say is your most annoying habit?
It does drive me crazy that she never locks the car door. I discovered this early on back in 2007 when we were doing a road trip together in the US, and I had all my passport and everything in there in the car that we were keeping, and she just never locks the car. I don't know why, but it drives me insane, and I'm always telling her, lock the car, did you lock the car? And she's the same with doors and houses as well. She's got a very, very poor sense of security, and it drives me nuts.
For question 10, I asked Paul if you could get rid of one item of clothing from his closet, what would it be?
Actually, as I make this video, she just has thrown out a whole heap of my underwear. And this is pretty embarrassing for me to admit that I keep my underwear and a lot of other items of clothing way longer than I should. And I don't know why I do it. I don't know, it's weird. But some of the underwear that she threw out, they literally had holes in them. So that's pretty embarrassing. But yeah, she was like, these have got to go. These are going. So I think it drives her crazy. I think that's definitely something that she would get rid of in the future as well, if she allows me to keep my underwear that long.
Question 11. How many countries have the two of you visited together?
I added this up before and I got 8, including Australia, if you can count that. So that's a lot. So eight countries.
For question 12, I asked Paul what movie star he thinks you most closely resembles.
So Kate actually gave her students that she was teaching at the school back home a photo of me, and they looked at my photo and they thought that I looked like Patrick Wilson. So to me, that's a huge compliment because let's face it, Patrick Wilson's he's a pretty good looking man. So I'll take that any old day of the week.
Question 13. I asked Paul, what book title would he choose to describe you?
This is a really tough one. I think to describe Kate's intensity, she's very much a Scorpio. I would say Wuthering Heights. If I'm supposed to choose a book title that currently exists, or whether I was supposed to make one up, I'm not sure. But Wuthering Heights, she gave me that book a while ago, and it's one of her favourite books. But I also think that if I had to choose a title that best resembles her, or best describes her, that would be it. It's a story about intense love, intensity, and yeah, she's very much an intense person. So I would say that's the best one for her.
Question 14. What is the theme and or color scheme of your wedding? Bless his heart.
I'm going to struggle with this one. I would say I don't necessarily know the colour scheme. Kate's taking a leading role in organising a lot of the logistics in the wedding, so thanks, Kate. I realise that you've done a lot. The theme, I guess, would be very much the misty, moody kind of Maine weather, outdoors, and approaching that fall sort of period. So that would, if that's right, I don't know if that's a good answer or not, but that would be the theme or the to best describe our wedding.
Question 15 is my personal favorite. I asked Paul what part of being married to you, Kate, is he most excited about?
Well, I think that when we first met each other, and ever since then, and leading up to our wedding, it's been a massive adventure with Kate. And I think what most excites me about marrying Kate is a continued adventure. There's a lot of stuff that her and I have to look forward to in a life together, and I guess I'm looking forward to sharing that at the wedding with everyone else, and proclaiming publicly my love for her. So I think that's what I'm most looking forward to is our ongoing adventure.
So that's it. That's the game. How did you do? I'm so curious. You'll have to call and tell me. I can't wait to hear how today was, and I can't wait to be part of your big day, Kate. It's going to be an amazing one, and I can't wait to meet all of you. So please raise a glass on my behalf today. Toast to Kate, toast to Paul, and toast to the beautiful adventure that they're about to begin. I love you. See you soon. Bye.